Hi, Jocelyn. Hi, it's Althea. Thank you very
Hello.
much for joining. Hi, thank you very much for joining me for this interview. I really appreciate it because I would like to, talk about your experience with the pain-free method, how it worked for you, what happened, so others can have an idea about what would the experience be like. So thank you very much for joining me today. And so if it's okay with you to dive straight in.
Yes.
So tell me, Jocelyn, when you were first looking for help, and what was the problem? What help did you want? What was it for?
Well, for a long period of time now, I've been going through a lot of, was going through a lot of back problems, back trouble. It started off with lower back pain, and then it went further up my back, and yeah, I was really suffering over a period of a long time.
And
Uh,
what time? That's a year, months, years? What? How
Years,
long?
yeah, over a
Years.
period of 20 years, off and
20
on.
years. Okay.
Sometimes it was, worse than other times, excruciating sometimes, yeah. So yeah, I had real bad back problem.
And so it went off and on. So sometimes it's all right, sometimes it's not okay.
That's it, yeah. And so over this period of time, I was going through back problems, back trouble. I was off and on to the doctors, to try and get some sort of help with it. And obviously, all they just sort of kept recommending me was tablets, to take certain pills and painkillers. And yeah, so that's what I was doing for a period of time. But then I thought to myself, I don't want to keep sort of popping pills, taking tablets. That's not the sort of thing I want to do.
What did
One
you think the problem
I'd be
was?
okay. Well, 1 minute I thought I'd be okay with taking the tablets, which I
Mm.
was for a short period of time. And then as soon as the tablets wore off, I was back to pain again. So it wasn't really doing anything for me. It wasn't really curing me.
And did you know what the problem was? Did they diagnose you, or did you have an idea what the matter was? And you
Yeah, they
didn't.
said, I had sciatica, trapped nerves down my leg. But they didn't, diagnose it for a period of time. I was told different things that it could
It
be.
does happen like that.
Yeah, and sort of I was in and out the doctors, like, quite a lot, just basically telling me to take these pills, to take these painkillers, giving me stronger and stronger ones. Not all the time did I really want to take the tablets, which I didn't, to be honest, because I just didn't want to keep popping pills. As I said, I
Sure.
didn't think that was doing much for me.
And that
Only,
was
only when I was in excruciating pain, yeah, it did help, but it came back again. So to me, it was
yes.
like a waste of sort of time, really, and energy. Just keep taking the tablet.
And that
They
was
said,
over 20 years. Sorry.
yeah. I did a little bit of physio now and again, which
Okay.
did help slightly, But as soon as I felt a little bit better, that was it. It didn't sort of cure me 100%. And then the doctor started saying, how about go and have treatment? Going to hospital, having operations and stuff like that. And I thought, oh no, I don't really want to go down that journey. But because I was in so much pain, I did think about it.
Yes. And what
And
sort of
then,
did they say specifically about what kind of operations they would suggest?
yeah,
Or
they were going to give me certain injections in my spine below, because I was suffering a lot at the bottom part. They were going to give me injections to basically
that's steroids?
to kill the nerve, to kill the nerves. And then they said to me, so I said, oh, so if that happens, because I was in so much pain, I just wanted anything to happen, just to get better. And they said to me, so I said, is that it then? It will go away. Oh no, it can come back again. It will, come back and grow again. So it wasn't really curing. It was just, they were just giving me time to relieve me from pain, which at the time I was willing to go ahead and do. But then I thought to myself, I don't really want to take injections in my spine. They said it wouldn't really be many side effects or anything, but then, they were sort of saying to me, there's other operations that you can have as well, which, as again, I didn't want to go down those roads. And then
What
until
sort of
I started,
operations? What sort of operations?
maybe to adjust, where the actual nerve was getting trapped.
And where was it? So it was going down your leg, was it? The sciatica is normally
Yeah,
lower back than your
I was
leg.
getting pain across my lower back and down my leg. So basically, I had a trapped nerve that was going down the side of my right side, all the way down, and was being trapped, in between my lower back and down my leg.
Yes. And how did this affect you generally in your life? what you did?
Oh yeah,
daily?
you know, sometimes I was in excruciating pain. I could hardly sort of move, you know, sometimes it'd be a problem getting out of bed. One time I was actually fixed when I bent down. I couldn't stand back up again. I was away at the time, staying at sisters, and it was all over the weekend. I couldn't move. And went to the doctors after a few days, and obviously then again he sort of said, tablets, take these, you know, and you should be better in the next sort of few days, etc. Which, you know, it eased off and I seemed to be getting more better, but the pain and the stiffness and the soreness just didn't go away.
So the only relief you had at that time was pills, or in between the pain times?
Exactly.
So what made you reach out for, I mean, what other sort of things did you try out apart from the doctor? What else did you try? You mentioned the physio.
Yeah, they said to go to do some physiotherapy, which I did. It relieved the pain slightly here and there for days on, a few days here and there, but I mean, sometimes what they gave me to do sort of like made it worse. But they did say to me, you know, it can get worse before it gets better. But I was just still going through the pain and all of it. I was still going through the pain. You know, I did as much physio as I could. Not all the time, I must admit, you know, because when you do feel a little better, you sort of you stop sort of doing it, you know, but you really should probably, you know, continue it anyway, as much as you can, which, you know, I still do. You know, I still do certain exercises and certain movements. And then I spoke to you about it all sort of over the years, and then you've told me about the PainFree method of doing things, which I find, you know, ever so helpful. Brilliant.
So what started to what changed from you going to the doctors over the 20 years and you're taking the medication, physio, up and down with the pain? Well, what changed? What changed after that? What made you look for other answers, or look for people like me, other methods?
Well, as I said, you know, going backwards and forwards to the doctors, I was just taking pills, and I just thought to myself, you know, this ain't working. I'm not getting better. But obviously, you know, I started to feel that I was just trying to block it out of my life, you know, the pain that I was in. Yeah. So I was going through life blocking out pain, which was difficult. And like, as soon as I'd go to the doctors with pain, because like sometimes I couldn't work, you know, I'd get so upset with the doctor saying like, please help me, you know, crying out for help. And I felt like the doctor, you know, as much as he was trying to help me, again, giving me tablets, I knew I was going to be walking away with painkillers and still having the pain. And that's what stressed me out the most, because I knew I weren't going to I'm not getting better, you know. So do I have to take that road and go and have an operation? Do I have to take that road and go and have those needles, you know, in my spine and all the rest of it, not knowing what effect and how I'd be after that? So that was all stressful as well, you know, not knowing. I mean, they did say, you know, some people come away, you know, it's not 100% feeling okay. Some do, some don't, you know, so you're still undecisive about that, you know. And hospital, you know, more drugs and needles and stuff, knowing that, you know, it can come back. They're just going to
kill the
time with the injections, but yeah, still not know.
You still didn't know what was going to happen, even if you did go down that route.
So you tried. So you know, your spine and your back, you know, hold you up. Without that, you know,
important part. It's very important part of your body.
Yeah, it was all scary, you know, and it was very stressing for me.
Okay, so then you found we talked about the PainFree method, and I started to teach you the PainFree method and the 3 steps, etc. And what was your opinion about it when you first heard about the PainFree method and the way I was talking about healing and guidance and everything?
Oh yeah, you know,
what were your first ideas about it?
Yeah, it sounded really interesting, you know, and I was started reading up on it, and you started telling me about it. And I thought, yeah, you know, give it a go. I was open-minded. Obviously, I felt a bit skeptical about it, thinking, you know, can this all work and get me better? But off I go. I've got nothing to lose. And I did. You know, I gave it a go, and I started to feel myself feeling much better. And, you know, waking up in the morning and not feeling so stiff on my spine, not feeling so upset, knowing that I'm going to be in pain all day. I was so much more relieved with it. You know, I was finding myself feeling better. At the same time, when I first, you know, started carrying out a little bit of your method, I was still taking painkillers, because some days I was in excruciating pain. I proper like,
I remember.
oh, like, you know,
I remember.
it's horrible. You know, couldn't sit down too long, couldn't stand, couldn't do much. You know, it was every time off for work, and just everyday things really. You know, couldn't bend down to, you know, put washing in the washing machine and stuff like that. It was getting, you know, unbelievable. And you know me, I like going to the gym and like doing exercises. Even doing that was, you know, it made things worse. So then,
So
as I said,
you did try to do things.
yeah, I tried loads of different ways of things, you know, but still, it was still in a lot of pain.
Massage. You mentioned you had massage and
Yeah.
shiatsu, and you're an active girl, you're a busy girl. So you went to the gym,
Yeah.
swimming. You mentioned swimming. You used to do
Yeah, I
swimming?
started swimming. Well, it all sort of coincides in what you started telling
Okay.
me, you know,
What about the
doing
same
the
sort of time? Mm. So what?
doing
So
the
what?
free
What? So
and
what?
you know, thinking about myself, healing myself on my own.
Okay. So what sort of time period was that from when you first heard about, when you first started the pain-free method to when you started to feel the benefits, the relief, pain relief? What sort of time span was that? Was that straight away, or took some time, or because it sounds like you're sort of opening up to other
Yeah,
methods
so well,
anyway.
basically, when you started saying to me, like, you know, start thinking about yourself, you know, get to the root cause of where you think
Yes.
this pain's coming to, think
Yes.
about the pain. I started using your methods of thinking. I was thinking, yeah, this is true. You know, I was getting to the bottom of the pain, thinking about the pain, doing a bit of
The
meditation,
original cause.
listening to what my body was telling me, which I, you know, don't really do. You think, oh, I've got a pain and that's it. And you know, straight away you're thinking hospital doctors and all the rest of it, but not really thinking how I can release this pain and, you know, thinking about the pain, how the methods that you sort of was started doing it, and, you know, and I felt a bit more at ease and felt more relaxed.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And what sort of, if I could say, like, out of 10, what was the pain level before you started the pain-free method? What did it used to be? Do you remember?
Oh, it used to be, if I could go up to, you know, 10 out of 10, it was 10 being bad. Worse, it could be 100 even. You know, I was so in so much pain. And the scary thing about it was, even though I was in pain and I was in denial about it, it was knowing that I might not never get better. You know, I'll be in this pain all the time and it will get worse, worse,
Yes.
worse. Well, I can say now it's got so much better. I'm so happy and relieved. You know, I'm not 100% better, but I'm carrying out what you've said and what you teach in the method. Yeah, I'm feeling.
How long's it been now since you started it to now? What's that time span that you're feeling so much better
Since I started it.
Hmm.
It's probably been about, I'd say, a few months. But the thing is, it's been a long period, is because I haven't done every single thing. I haven't followed all the steps 100% of like what you've said. But when I do, I find the benefits of it. So the more I do it, the more I feel better for a longer period of time. Whereas I was doing it in little bits, like,
Yes.
you know, a few days, one day here, one day there. But now I try to do it automatically. You know, I'm thinking about myself more and doing all the steps that you're saying in
and
what you
that's the
do,
thing.
what you help, breathing method.
That's right. And it
Thinking
takes time.
about myself.
It takes time
It
to
does.
shift, doesn't it? To kind of get it, take it on board, give it a go, see how you feel, and your life, your usual life in there. It takes time to kind of just adjust yourself to it.
Well, the methods all sound easy, which they are, but it's actually putting it into practice.
Yeah,
in the sense of making time for yourself to do it. As soon as I started to make time for myself and to do it, that's when I felt the pain that was going. You know, I didn't know that before. I was thinking, oh, I'll do it a little bit here and I'll do it a little bit there, when I felt the pain. But now I do it. One little tiny bit of flinch, if I feel, I do it. I take my time and breathe, you know, and I do everything that I'm meant to do. Yeah, and it seems to vanish straight away. And sometimes it's not even there, which is brilliant.
Fantastic. And that you mentioned how you.
Yeah, sorry.
And you mentioned how. Sorry. You mentioned how when you had the pain, you used to do the techniques, and then the pain-free method, and then after that, you started to do it more regularly now, and that's very interesting to say that, because that's the first stage. That's step one of the pain-free method, the introductory stage. I call it clearing the dragon, and it's meeting your pain face to face. But that's the beginning. That's when you're meeting it where what's happening. Get some immediate effects. Get some pain relief there, but really it's the next stages, the deeper stuff, really listening to yourself, really working on yourself. And you're in that stage now then, aren't you? You're doing something more regularly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, I having this back problem, obviously, you know, it's my spine, my back, it holds me up. And I started, you know, doing and saying, thinking what you were saying about, you know, go deeper into the pain, think about it, you know, listen to it, listen to your body. And it came up more emotional feelings about, you know, family life and family things, etc. And I felt like I was holding a weight on my back. So I felt there was a lot of strain going on, you know, in my mind, which was part of the cause of my backache over these years, you know, because I've always been a person that helps other people, and, you know, I've always cared for my family, holding them up. Yeah, and I just felt, you know, what I started doing is caring more about myself and thinking about myself and, you know, listening to my body, how it feels. And as soon as I started letting go of all this emotion that I was holding on to, this heaviness of family, friends, and all what I was doing too much of, I felt so much relieved. You know, I think it was a bit of combination.
So your back, so when you felt into and felt into what was going on for you physically with your back pain, that came up for you. You know, you recognize that was part and parcel of you overloading yourself with your family, taking on board everybody, supporting everybody.
Exactly. Like I was holding up everything.
Holding up everything
in my life, certain things that have gone on in my life.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's what your back does, isn't it? So that came, that realization that came from feeling into doing step 1 of the PainFree method, and you started to recognize and then
recognize it and releasing it, you know, in the ways that you tell me to, the ways that you teach, you know, to release that, you know, and deal with those sort of feelings inside me, which released a lot of pain, which is unbelievable. I can't believe how it released a lot of pain. I can't believe it. I still can't. It was amazing. No, you know, it just felt such a weight off my shoulders, which has relieved all the tension in my back. You know, like say like 4 or 5 months before I started, I wouldn't be able to sit on this chair this long. I'd have to stand up and walk around. You know, certain chairs I can sit on, and certain chairs I can't. Look at me now, sitting on this chair. You know,
just for like 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, that would be.
Yep, exactly. You know, I wouldn't be able to stand up too long. I'm fine now. You know, I do get a little twinge here and there. Sometimes I do feel the pain come back now and again, but not as excruciating. And now I feel I know how to handle it, whereas before I didn't. You know, I feel like I can handle it now.
And that's what I teach you, is it? To not just to teach.
Sorry?
That's what I teach you, not just to learn the method, but to really get it, so it's in your hands for life.
That's what I had to do. Believe in it, and go with it, and, you know, and understand it as much as I can.
Yeah.
You know, at first, you know, I was a bit skeptical about it when I first, you know, read about it and listened to what you were sort of saying in the beginning. I was a bit, you know, a bit skeptical about it, thinking, oh, well, I'll give it a go. You know, I'm an open-minded person. You know, you don't know these things until you try them. You know, then I started feeling a lot of relief from it. And it seemed to be happening to me more quicker than all these years that I've tried with the doctor and tablets. All these years off and on all these drugs. And I was in pain. It's only been the last, year or so since, you know, I've been doing this method, bits and pieces of it, and really getting into it, you know, the last, I'd say 4 or 5 months, really getting into it, that I feel so much more better and at ease. You know, I took that step to recognize it, understand a bit more about it deeper, and actually follow it. You know, I felt before I wasn't really following it enough. You know, everything you were telling me to do, I wasn't doing it 100%. Now I am, you know, and I feel so much better with it now. I feel more relieved, as I said, you know.
And what sort of difference, if it was 110 or 100 you said before, what's the sort of the painful sensation between 1 and 10 these days?
Now, oh my God. Say from 10, it was like excruciating. I could hardly walk, you know, I'd be so upset and stressed, you know, didn't know what to do with myself. Now it feels like no word of a lie. Sitting here, I'd say it feels about 3 or 4.
Okay.
And that's, you know, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. You know, I could still would love to go down to 0, which I will if I just keep on it, what I'm doing. You know, I've actually put on a little bit of weight lately because I've had a little bit of, you know, things happen in life, nothing heavy or bad, but, you know, I put on a bit of weight, and I feel that hasn't helped either, to be honest. But I'm going back to listening to my body, listening to myself, and I know that little heavy weight that's on my, you know, what I put on will release I think the 3 and 4 pattern, you know, it's actually
it will
going back, you know, looking after myself, you know, recognizing that
yes.
I'm here and I need to you know, to listen to my body and what it needs.
And it will, because when you get things into balance, when you're using this method and things are flowing for you nicely, things like weight will naturally drop into balance as well, whatever that your body needs that weight to be. And you know, you mentioned about eating more because of stress, and this is very common.
Well, yeah, everyone's going to get a bit of stress, but it's knowing how to handle it, you know, and going through the methods of what you teach again, you know, like to go and spend a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, you know, as much as I can, like doing a little bit of meditation, you know, having a relaxation, having a nice hot bath, you know, not waiting for the pain to come. If I feel a little twinge, not waiting for it really hurts to go and have a nice relaxing bath, or go and do a bit of yoga, or, you know, doing something that I know is going to heal it. You know, as soon as you feel that little twinge, do it then, or long before, you know, don't wait for the pain.
And so when you connected with it, when you understood what was actually creating the root cause of what was creating your physical pain, your back pain, so then your behavior and the things you did in your life started to change because you understood what were the triggers. So it wasn't just your back, treat the back, pills, treat the back. It was when you got it, when you saw how the triggers, what was that? And you know, taking the weight of the family, holding everybody up.
Yeah, not looking after myself, not always listening to what my body needs. Do you know what I mean? And you know, eating the right foods, and just basically also sort of taking care of yourself. You know, proper like listening to what your body needs. You know, and how your body can work naturally if you listen to it, and how you can, you know, help it in a natural way.
And so when you kind of felt into the pain, then you started to get all this information and understanding and got all that stuff. And before it was just deal with the pain. So
exactly,
a big shift of where you paid attention to and what you did.
The more I listened and went into, you know, what you taught and what it's all about, the more relief I got, and actually it clicked that I need to do this, you know, to make it happen, to make it work, you know, because your mind's elsewhere. You think, oh, I've got a pain, or I'm just going to sort of do that and do that. But no, I thought, no, I'm going to take time. You know, today I need to take time for myself, you know, and do a little few things what you taught me to do, and it works. It works. It works for me.
So how fantastic. That's what it's all about. And so the actual methods themselves, how did you find the actual sort of action of doing the actual the 3 steps and everything else? How did you find the actual things I asked you to do and I suggested for you to do?
At first it's like putting it into your schedule and, you know, doing it, but no, I thought, no, I'm going to do it, you know, because at the end of the day, if I want to get better, then I'd rather do what you were telling me to do than to take drugs and go and have an operation. You know, the first steps that I started taking, they were easy. You know, at first I thought, oh, you know, they were easy, really. You know, we always think, oh, I can't do that, I haven't got time. No, but you have to make time, otherwise it's not going to work. You know, you have to sit back and think, no, I'm going to, you know, do what you're saying, take time and do it if I want to get better.
That's right.
You know, and to me, actually feeling better. I mean, at the beginning, you know, I was a bit skeptical about it all, and you know, and you know, thinking about the price. But you know, for me to be able to, you know, sit up straight, stand up straight, be able to stand in a queue longer than a few minutes, being able to walk distances, you know, bending up and bending down, what you do with your back. To me, to be able to do that. You know, I can't put a price on it. Can't put a price on it, you know. And I never thought I'd really get better. I was always, you know, I was in denial of my back pain, you know, going on holiday with my partner, you know, feeling upset because, you know, I was thinking, oh, I can't do what I usually like doing, you know, like I like water skiing and, you know, like doing all the sports, being away and like doing walks and stuff like that. Well, I was thinking I can't do it, you know, but yeah, I can, you know, I've been away and I've been able to do all that. So I could see it all happening and actually working, you know. So it's worth every penny, knowing that I'm getting better, knowing that I thought I might never get better with it. So, and to be honest, my boyfriend, Nick, he's actually doing it as well. You know, I'm teaching him the method of it, and he's going through it, and he had back pain as well. Now he seems to be getting better as well. Now he's pain now and again, but you know, he's going through the method what I'm going through. You know, I'm teaching him.
Once you get it, that's it. So if you get something that works for you, then we'll share, because it's just an easy technique, and you feel better.
I love it, don't you? Well, you feel like a new person as well, because you're giving yourself time as well, because all what you teach is like giving yourself time, you know, and listening to the body, and it's lovely, you know, instead of always worrying about other people. You know, think about yourself, because, you know, you have to come first sometimes.
That's right, and can pay attention to that, and that's where the healing comes from. So you mentioned about the price. You mentioned about the price. So what do you think about paying for this? Would this be, you know, were you happy with the price?
I think it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
Well, at first, as I said, I was a bit like, you know, a bit skeptical of the price and thinking, oh, is it going to work for me? You know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because, you know, it's, you know, money can be a bit of a barrier when you know, when you have to pay for something, you know, and you're not too sure about it. You know, it can be a barrier, and it's sort of putting a bit of a stress and strain on, you know, going ahead with it.
Never mind the pain.
Sorry.
Never mind the pain. The stress of spending out money, you're not sure if it's going to work for you.
You know, I was a bit, you know, undecisive of that sort of part of it, but you know, it's worth every penny. You know, for me being not able to hardly walk and stand up straight, you know, and do the things I want to do, just even, you know, the normal day things I couldn't do sometimes, really couldn't do. So much pain, and then now I can do it all. You know, it's worth its weight in gold. You know, it's worth its weight in gold. I can say I feel 100% much better than I did. Fantastic. I do get little days where I still feel a little bit niggly, but I know how to work with it. You know, I know how to work. I know how to start out now to heal myself. You know, going through the methods. You know,
and
so future in that respect. You know,
yes,
I'm going somewhere now. Before it seemed dark and gloom.
And then when you saw things starting to get better, so what was the time gap between when you started working with me, getting the results that you got? What time difference was that?
It took
the gap there. How much time did that take to get into it? And
it took a good month and a half to 2 months. The first few weeks, obviously, you know, I was going with the methods, and I was thinking to myself, I've got to do this, you know, because obviously it's going to be a waste if I don't, you know, and I've tried all else to try and heal myself, and it's not working, you know, going down the drug route. So I thought, no, I'm going to try this route. You know, and I had to believe that it's going to happen, because, you know, you have to believe it. If you have to believe in it, because if you don't, then, you know, it's not going to happen for you. So all I did was started believing in it and doing it, doing everything what you told me to do. You know, I'd pay anything to get my back better, you know, to be able to stand up and walk. You know, I couldn't put a price on it. To be able to get up and do things, you know, you can't put a price on that. Whatever it would have cost me, you know, knowing that I'm getting better, I would have done it years ago. And, you know, if I'd have known all this years ago, you know, wasted 20 years of my life being in pain, in denial, you know, not knowing how to get better, in denial of, you know, just blocking out the pain.
Yes.
Because I feel that nobody could help me. So since I started feeling so much better, I would have done it a long time ago. You know, just
so what is the difference now? What things can you do now that you couldn't do before?
I can do everything now. I still, like, you know, I'm a little bit like, I do swimming a lot now, which I've been doing for years, but I do swimming a lot now, and I don't even have to do it, because there's been the last few weeks I haven't done it because I've been away, but and I feel fine, because that was part of the release as well, you know, being able to sort of look after myself, as I said. But
yes.
Sorry, say the question again.
Now, what can you do now that you couldn't do before? That you were prevented because of your back pain. You're prevented to do before. What can you do now that you couldn't do before?
Bending down, just normal things like bending down to do the washing, empty the dishwasher.
And what do you do now then?
Picking up things. Well, I can do it now. You know, it was before I would have to sort of say to my son, come and give me a hand doing this and doing that. You know, I can't get that down there. Or being scared that if I bent down, I couldn't, like, easily get up again. Sitting more than 10 to 15 minutes on a chair, like, you know, getting up knowing that I wouldn't be able to walk straight for a little while because my back would feel like bent. Standing in a queue, you know, I couldn't stand in a queue too long. I was in so much pain. You know, half my leg would be dead and half my back would feel like it was just in so much pain. But now I can do all that. I can stand in a queue. Yep. I've started my swimming again. I can walk long distance. Just everyday things now I can do much more better. That's, you know, as I said when I went through time, I couldn't even do that. Now I can.
Wonderful. So if you, if somebody is looking at this or looking at my website or thinking about working with me and thinking about whether the PainFree Method is right for them, what would you say to them?
I'd say give it a go. You don't know until you try. You know, give it a go. What have you got to lose? It's also soulful. You know, it's soul healing as well. And it's just, you know, giving yourself a bit of time and giving yourself time to heal. You know, thinking about yourself and then and you know, giving yourself time and not anyone else for that, you know, periods of time in the day. You know, thinking about yourself more, you know, listening to your body, being in the now, you know, as you say, like being in the now. You know, stop worrying about tomorrow or the next and what's going to happen to later on. Just being in the now, looking after yourself and using the methods that you do, you know, lovely. It's nice. And you know, I just feel it's so beneficial in so many ways. I feel such a much better person. You know, I'm not as grumpy as I used to be, not so short-tempered. You know, me and my son are getting on great. Not that we didn't before, but, you know, we had our moments when I was in pain. You know, he was going through university and I was in a lot of pain. And, you know, you take it out on other people. You don't mean to, but you just do. You know, I'm not like that anymore. I'm fine. We've been getting on so great, you know, together. And I just feel a better person in myself. I still feel so much better. I feel so much lighter. You know, before I was feeling so heavy because, you know, my back, the pain, there's just so much horribleness in it, you know, not just your back, it upsets you, you're grouchy, you know, you feel stressed. Now I feel so much better.
Oh, it's
you know,
absolutely wonderful.
The emotions have got better as well, all the emotions.
So it affects your emotions too then. So,
exactly.
What would you say to as a final word to others who are thinking about going through the PainFree Method and the program with me? What would be your as kind of final thing to say to somebody who's not sure and they're thinking about it? They're in pain at the moment and they're wondering if it's going to work for them.
I'd say go through the first few stages and just proper have a feel of it and do exactly what you tell them to do and see how they feel after, you know, a few episodes of it. You know, they'll come out feeling amazed, but they've really got to click and understand it and enjoy it and trust it while they're doing it, because that's the only way they're going to feel the benefits of it. You know, go with it. You know, be open-minded about it. Straight away, be open-minded about it and go with it. You know, don't put barriers there before you've even started, or, you know, you've got to be open-minded about it. And the more open-minded I felt throughout it, the much more better I've seemed to have got. You know, I feel so much better with it. So yeah, that's all I can say. It's, you know, I feel it's brilliant and I'm going to continue with it, you know. And I know.
And so even after the program, when you work with me, you still, after that, when that's finished, you're not left alone. You can go and dip into the PainFree Facebook group, which is a support group for after working with me, so that if you do have a question, something crops up, if you forget one stage or you're in trouble, you know, you're getting pain again, you've forgotten what to do or you're not getting it right, you can dip into the group, you get the support you need, and you're off and running again. So if you do need, and that's ongoing, that's a lifetime. Yeah. So that's you can use that for your support following the program too. So you'll always be supported. Okay, Jocelyn, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and sharing your pain-free journey and your experience with the PainFree Method with me. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that.